What happens when a single social media post doesn't just spark outrage, but pulls an entire political system into confrontation? And more importantly, who really pays the price when the world becomes a weapon in America's immigration debate? Tonight, Washington is at the center of a fast building political storm after an Indian American lawmaker and the advocacy group sharply condemned Donald Trump. Over what? Well, over a controversial online post that many are calling inflammatory and deeply divisive. But that is not just all about the post. Well, there are more things that changes everything. The controversy began when Trump reshared content on Truth Social originally posted by conservative radio host Michelle Savage. The language used targeted Indians and Chinese people and questioning the immigrants in context of birthright citizenship in the US. However, there's more to it. What might have reminded an online flashpoint quickly escalated into something far larger. Because Indian Americans and Chinese American communities say that this is not an isolated incident, but part of a growing pattern of racism and now also triggering the communities. As part of the argue, they reinforced the stereotypes at a time when concerns over anti-Asian community and anti-Asian hate remained sensitive and unresolved. And yet, political response was almost immediate. Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy, alongside Ted Lieu with Pramila Jayapal, introduced a former House resolution condemning the amplification of this particular post. On paper, it is a procedural step, but in reality, it signals something much deeper. A widening fracture in how America defines identity, belonging, as well as political responsibility. Krishnamurthy warned that when a president of America amplifies such rhetoric, it sends that he describes as dangerous signals. But the story is bigger behind it. The debate is no longer just about one individual, it is about power of influence in polarized nations. Now, Ted Lieu went further, pointing out the history itself. He argued that Asian Americans have a long history of being treated as outsiders, even when they are the citizens, even when they are born in the United States, and that raises a difficult question. Has anything truly changed? Or maybe has the language simplified, overly evolved? And now comes Pramila Jayapal. Framed it very differently. She says that this is not a cultural tension. Well, it is a political strategy, a distraction from economic pressure, rising cost, public frustration. But if that is true, the implications go far beyond the immigration policies. Because the advocacy groups including the Stop AAPI Hate, which is related to the Asian communities, want this rhetoric to be stopped as the real world consequences should be. Well, not just the online outrage, but the real fear, real division, and real risk in everyday community. And yet, the most uncertain part is this, that the debate is not cooling down anytime soon. It is expanding. So the question is, well, now it is not what was being said, but what happens next after a political speech becomes a trigger for the national division. And now not this who is willing to step back, but in a country already pulled into multiple directions, the battle over the words may now have become the latest power as the battle over policy.